Well, I just arrived to the Ayutthaya ruins, and there are some rules here. No, there is a dress code. Looks like no crop top, no shorts, no mini skirts. Looks like it says, please do not climb monuments, especially the Buddha image. No climbing on top of that, no climbing on the stupas or the pranks. Bottled water is allowed. I've never seen a sign that actually says that bottled water is allowed. No food or drinks. After your ticket check, please keep the ticket to yourself at all time. So it looks like here they have the model rebuilt as if it was pristine condition. It's incredible. Wow. That's how it looked like. But now it looks a little bit like this. Wow, that is so beautiful. I wonder what those bells mean. But yeah, they're very common. I've seen them in many places. Wow. So this is the entrance. Wat Rat Wat Rat Burana reconstructed. And there it is. Very, very beautiful. Wow. So yeah, it is hot. It is very hot. And one of the interesting things about the payment structure here is that there is a foreigner based payment. So for foreigners, it's 50 bahts, which is about almost $2 or $2. And that's only for one temple or one ruin. If you want to see all the ruins, then it's 220 bahts, which comes to a total of almost $7, between $6 to $7. So just something for your awareness. If you just want to see one temple, then it's just 50 bahts. But if you want to see all the ruins, then it's a total of $6 to $7. So just something for you to note. And this is the temple here. Wow, it's incredible. And looks like they do have umbrellas. So it is very hot. So just make sure to bring a ball cap with you, or hat, or your own umbrella. So you can see here's the main entrance to the temple. Wow, just very beautiful. Looks like these are bricks, and I read that this was built in the 12th 13th century, and a lot of this was destroyed by the Burmese army when they came in. They had enough with all the back and forth fighting and a lot of disputes going on between the Burmese and the different armies. So I guess they just came in one day and boop, just burned it all up and destroyed all the different statues, monuments. And one story in particular that I'm interested to see is that the army also chopped off the heads of the Buddhas, or some of the statues. And so that's, a lot of people say, or at least I read, I'm not sure, is that the Buddha head was left inside a tree, and the tree grew into the head, and so that's why they have that head inside that tree. So I'm excited to see that. I don't know where it's at, but looks like the roof tiles collapse only. Yeah. So lots of different nice areas to see here. Wow. Some areas are restricted, so can't really go inside. This empire lasted 400 years. Ooh, that's a long time for an empire to last that much. Or that's a long time for an empire to be around, 400 years. And had different temples, and another thing that I learned was that this area, Ayutthaya, I'm not sure. I can never say these names correctly, but I read that up to 1 million people lived here. That's a lot of people, especially for an area like this. Wow. A lot of the foreign traders included Dutch, Portuguese, French, Japanese. Looks like there was a lot of trade going on here in this area, but yeah, that definitely collapsed. One of the interesting things is that when the Burmese came in here, they pretty much burned, looted, destroyed the entire area, especially this area, and they decapitated a lot of the statues, and especially one of them being the Buddha head, one of them being the Buddha head. And so there is a tree somewhere around here where the Buddha head is entwined into the tree, and I'm excited to see that one because, of course, it's a social media favorite, Instagram favorite, TikTok favorite, so definitely gonna check it out. Wow. So this is the inside of the temple, or the main entrance, the main building here. Wow, check that out. Wow, that is gorgeous. I'm excited to make the climb up there. Wow. I don't see anything that stands out to me in terms of rituals or... I'm not sure what this is here. Kind of like a seated area, maybe? Wow, and looks like there's some solar panels here. Not really sure why these solar panels are here, but they're there. Oh, I think it's... yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest. Or maybe they're just charging them. They could be just charging the solar panels. It's never would have thought that they'd have the solar panels here. Wow. And so there are only 4 windows. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 windows, and looks like everything's made of brick. You can see the brick here. Interesting. Yeah, there's another charger here. This one is... I think this one's fully charged. Not sure. I've never seen a charger. I've never seen these before. But looks like they have a... it's by a company named Rich. Solar panels here at Ayutthaya Temple. Wow. I'm gonna head up there and see what it's all about. Looks like this is the main area for the rituals, or some kind of rituals occurring. Wow. And over here, it looks like there was a statue right there. You can see that its head was decapitated here too. And there's another solar panel right here. Looks like they have them everywhere, just charging. I'm not really sure what the purpose is. Maybe I'll find out later, but yeah, there they are. Wow. There's certain areas where it's not allowed to walk in. All right, so here's the main temple right here. What does it say? Main pagoda. Made out of brick and decorated with stuccos. Not sure what a stucco is. The prang and its surrounding pagodas are built on a laterite platform. There are staircases leading to the 3 porches. Okay. Each portion is decorated with a small pagoda called Sheri Yod. The prang is surrounded by low walls and connected to the sermon hall. Valuable treasures were found inside the chamber of the prang. There were also mural paintings of the Buddha. Paintings presented strong Chinese influence. So it seems like this area was dominated, or at least highly influenced, by Chinese. Everywhere I go, there seems to be a small Chinatown. Just many places have a Chinatown. Wow. So I'm not surprised that China had a high influence here and in many other places. I think Chinese food must be like the most consumed or the most prevalent food just all around. Wow. And I don't know what is up with these chargers, or solar panels, but they are here. There's another solar panel right there. I'm getting curious about that. I thought it was only one, but yeah, wow. Looks like over there you can see all the statues that were decapitated or probably broken up, or just kind of the different leftover statues that were found in different areas. And that is an interesting building. It looks almost like it could be a pyramid. Maybe they had some sort of pyramid structure in mind. Oh, the structures go all the way over there too. So it looks like all the decapitated or broken up statues are just all along this area right here. Wow. Very interesting. Alright, so now I am climbing up the stairs. Stairs are pretty solid, at least up until here, and then the stairs change right about here. Looks like they're all chipped away. Looks like the stairs are chipped away a little bit. Wow. Very, a little bit small, but no worries there. Wow. Looks like there's different Buddha statues or carvings right up there. I also read a story that one of the main kings was influenced by Angkor Wat. So he wanted to kind of resemble that Angkor Wat type of empire. So, or he wanted to kind of bring about something that resembled the Angkor Wat. And so that's what he was kind of basing the building here. I think that's interesting because they were built like almost around the same time, Angkor Wat and Ayutthaya. So I think that's interesting, right? Like seems like they almost went in parallel, or Buddhism was in parallel during the 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th centuries. Seems like they had a good run. Wow. So now I'm going to climb these stairs, and I can definitely tell that these stairs have been reconstructed or renovated just because of how flat the surface is. Definitely doesn't look like it's leftover or anything like that. You can see the difference here, the difference in stairs. So you see these stairs right here, which are made of brick and very nicely crafted. There's even, if you notice, there's even a nail here, right there. And then we look at these stairs. These stairs are much more different. They look like they've been rugged up. They look like they've definitely had better days. But there's a difference between these stairs, and then these stairs. These stairs look much more sharp, more pristine. These stairs look much more older and more of a relic. Be careful when you're walking around here. Definitely a area where you could fall or anything like that. All right, so going up these stairs feel really, really good. Very smooth, easy to walk. I don't even need the rail here. Ooh. Wow. Okay. Wow. Looks like there were bats here. I smell bats. This is similar to that smell that I smelled in Angkor Wat. Bats.
Ah, bat. What did you see? You smell?
Smell.
You smell bat?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that smell is definitely here. Lots of, you can see it's getting a little bit darker, but that smell is very foul. It's a very foul smell in here. Not even sure if it's bats anymore, but it's definitely something. But it smells very, very, very foul. All right, let's see what this is. The crypt of Ratchaburana is considered to be the largest in Thailand. It contains various kinds of gold objects, personal possessions, wealthy people, members, general public. These gold objects are displayed in the. All right, so looks like this is where they housed all the gold and all the important stuff and all the important possessions. So looks like it must have been housed there. Let's see, what does it say here? Be careful, do not drop your belongings into the chamber. So looks like the chamber was down there. That's where all the gold was. Let's see what it cannot see. But looks like it's a pretty large area. Huh. Interesting. I don't see anything specifically outstanding, but looks like it's just a chamber that housed gold. Wow. Very interesting. Ooh, it's definitely very hot in here. Oh wow, this is interesting. The objects found in the principal prang. It looks like the officer who guarded the site was a culprit who brought looters to the site for the treasures. Wow, looks like a lot of gold objects were stolen by the looters and sorted into 4 categories: gold objects, exhibit of gold objects, pieces of gold objects, and some gold objects are lost. So, looks like law enforcement was involved in looting the area here. Wow. Yeah, it looks like there was an effort to bring back the temple or rebuild it, reconstruct it. Looks like there's electric ports here, electricity ports, electric outlets of all sorts. Oh, Jesus. Oh, shikes. I just smell the bats. I just saw the bats. Oh, my goodness. They are hot. Oh, my gosh. I just saw the bats up there in broad daylight. My gosh. Yeah, they are nested up there. So, yeah, definitely be careful when you come up here. I knew I smelled something. It's definitely those bats. Wow. This is the entrance to the... This is the view. So I think this is pretty interesting. Looks like this building here has some sort of entry. It looks like there must have been some type of burning or some type of cooking. I don't know. But looks like definitely something burned in there. But there's no output, so not sure if something of... Yeah, I just... It's fascinating because it doesn't seem like there's... It just seems like a chamber or maybe like a hangout space. Not sure. But definitely looks like it could be used for some type of burning or cooking or fire or... Yeah, just not really sure. Wow. Wow. You know, to imagine that at some point this whole area was a thriving area, a very strong empire, and then after a few months this place just went kaboom, literally kaboom, by the Burmese army. I wonder what this place would be if they had continued thriving as an empire. where they have become a world power. I know I read that it was a regional power here in Thailand, but can you imagine if this had just become a world power? And that'd be quite fascinating to see, maybe in a different timeline or a different universe, where Ayutthaya is a world power or Angkor Wat became a world power. But you can see some of the statues over there. Now, they don't have some of those serpents or any of the monsters or any of the demons, but they do have some eagles, or what they call here Garudas. So looks like the Garudas are protecting the temple here. That's pretty interesting just to see those statues. So it seems like every temple, every ancient temple has some sort of protector, kind of like gargoyles too, right? I think cathedrals, is it cathedrals? Yeah, I think it's cathedrals. They have gargoyles. But here, they have some sort of Garuda, which is the winged bird. So that's pretty cool too. Wow, just fascinating. And so I just want to show you here, all these statues at some point were an extreme pristine or very pristine, but now they are charcoal, and now they are all burned up, decapitated, or cut up, broken, left over, no longer in their mint condition. So just look at all these statues that were once very adorned, very beautiful, and worshipped in many ways, and now they are just relics of the past. It's incredible to see how this civilization or this society just kind of lost its power, lost its empire, and all that remains are broken pieces of their gods, or their worshiping artifacts, I guess you could say, in some aspect. But yeah, wow. And so all these statues here just kind of go on and on. Seems like it's the same model, which is the Buddha with crossed legs. There they are, different shapes. Even the rocks, the different pieces have been here. Are even the different there's different shapes, but now it's just pieces. And it's weird because all this happened just 400 years ago. Wow. Incredible. A total empire just completely in relics now. I'd definitely like to study more about how a civilization, a country, a government, an empire, or any form of structure just kind of collapses. I know there's a good book out there. I think it's How Nations Fail. Might have to read it, but a lot of it has to do with military, making sure that military has the appropriate amount of funding. That's a key resource, in my opinion.